So, with the release of the Suicide Squad by James Gunn in the DCEU on 5th August this year, it's finally time I should make a video on how to watch all the films in the DCEU in chronological order. Now I know it's been a long time I have made a video and put some content on YouTube, so I heartily and gladly welcome you to my channel. Let's start. So the first events we are talking about is the Justice League. Be it Zack Snyder's or Joss Whedon's. We are talking about the ancient battle that took place between the humans and the allied forces like Amazons, Atlanteans, Lanterns, and the old gods against the forces of Apocalypse or Darkseid and Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, the end of worlds. He lived only to conquer. Millions fell before his blade, or rose again as its parademons.
This is a story that Wonder Woman was narrating to Batman while assembling the Justice League. Next up, we move to the events of Wonder Woman in 2017, where Diana was born long time ago in the land of Amazonians, and her mother Queen Hippolyta. Thereafter, the events also went from to World War I, where she fought alongside Steve Trevor against the god of war Ares. So next up we see in 1970 that billionaire Bruce Wayne was born. You know how I can tell that? Because it's not mentioned in the films, of course. But in 2015, while releasing Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder mentioned that Bruce Wayne was 45 years old currently, and the events took place in 2015 to 2016. And in this scene,
not today. 20 years in Gotham, Alfred. We've seen what promises are worth. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way?
so that makes it the obvious. We also see in 1980, Krypton was destroyed and young Kal-El was sent to Earth and raised up by farmers Jonathan and Martha Kent. The next event in the list is the events of Wonder Woman 1984, and the backdrop is the Cold War between USA and USSR. So here Wonder Woman fights Maxwell, Lord and Cheetah, and there involves a mystical object called the Dream Stone. So in 1985, lighthouse keeper Mr. Thomas Curry rescues Queen Atlanta from Atlantis, and together they have a son. Since Atlanta was the Atlantean queen, she married a man in the land. So according to the Atlantean laws, she was banished from her kingdom. And the child grown up to become the Aquaman, which can be seen in the movie Aquaman. So next we come to the 2000s. So in 2005, the Billy Batson was born, who later on becomes Shazam.
Shazam?
In the year 2013, we see the events of Man of Steel, where young Clark Kent is brought up by the farmers, the Kent family, and grown up to become and embraces the destiny of becoming the Man of Steel. And followed by a fight with General Zod, who wants to make and terraform Earth into Krypton. Next we come to the events of Batman v Superman, where after the events of Man of Steel, Batman thinks Superman is a threat and plans to eliminate the danger. So Superman and Batman both gets wound up in Lex Luthor's thread, and ultimately Superman is killed at the hands of Doomsday. After Superman's death, Amanda Waller, the governor official, plans to bring a group of misfits or villains and assemble Task Force X. X marks the spot. Together they fight the Enchantress. They were relieved of the prison sentence for quite a few years. You can see that this is followed by the Justice League, infamous Justice League by Joss Whedon, and you all know how that turned out.
You won't let me live. You won't let me die.
Produce the Unity and turn it into Apocalypse, such that Darkseid would come to Earth and induce the anti-life equation on everyone, so that they all become the slaves. Followed by this, we have the events of Aquaman 1 year later, that is 2018. Because DCEU thinks Joss Whedon's Justice League is canon and not the Snyder cut. 18. Arthur Curry travels to Atlantis with Mera and takes the position of the king of Atlantis and the rightful heir to the throne, defeating his half-brother King Orm, and also fighting the Black Manta, who was actually a sea pirate. So in 2019, in the real world and the DCU world also, we see two parallel events take place. That is the event of Shazam and Birds of Prey, and the horrendous long title, or Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. When in Shazam we see the young Billy Batson, the 14-year-old Billy Batson, traveling from different foster homes in search of his true parentage, and also middle of the story he is selected by an ancient wizard and thus defeats an evil doctor called Dr. Sivana in the 7 Deadly Sins. For more info you have to watch the movie. No spoilers. Many of you have already done it. And in Birds of Prey we see that Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad and the girlfriend of the Joker broke up with him. Her mission now is to protect a young girl from a dreaded criminal warlord and mafia called the Black Mask. Then we have Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was far better than the 2017's version. And the latest addition to this DCU is the Suicide Squad, created by James Gunn. Now you know James Gunn has earned his popularity by directing the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I have also seen the film called Snyder, and he has some dynamics with the extraterrestrial beings. So in the Suicide Squad, Task Force X again assembles to fight up the starfish, all I can say now. And I think it's also available in the theaters. Correct me if I am wrong. So this video I aim to make because I have previously done a compilation of the films in chronological order for the MCU. So why not for the DCEU? As it is, thank you all. Subscribe this channel, hit a like, and bye.